things. They tell you the detail, the reasons why they want to do this. Because for now, the president just talks a gaps and the last process. So that's not enough for let actually we come out clearly say no, it's not timely or it's timely. But if they're able to tell we waiting at the gaps they will exist, so if they look at the depth of the gaps, if they look at how relevant and how big then gaps are they will be able to safely say, oh yes, because of them gaps here will exist, it's good for law to do this thing now. Or oh yes, because of them gaps here will exist, they're not strong enough for law to get another midterm census, especially the environment. So now I make
Spokesperson for the National Election Watch. In case you just dey tune in, we dey look at new dem press release wey dem police bin tell also dem talk about different thing dem wey dem want for pull position on. One permanent thing dem dey na the midterm review census wey His Excellency this BNT bin make a proclamation say statistics salon for begin do December 4 this year, and also dem talk about elections funding wey we go talk about later on na the program.
The program Good Morning Salon they continue with a take another issue inside the program as the Coalition for Change Party Secretary General been write to Parliament say the party don't change the leadership na Parliament because the party believe say the current leader for the party na Parliament, Honorable Emerson Lamina, not been they do thing them in the interest of the party. The Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Dr. Cherno Abbas Bundu, say Parliament still recognize the current leader for the Coalition for Change Party in Parliament, Honorable Emerson Salamina, because he say the letter with the party sent to him for sake of the change of leadership we they don't make not in line with Salon Constitution and the standing order of Parliament. Princess Pierce gets more Iguna reports.
From year 2000, the issue of fet and the same political party don dey comot na do. Around year 2002 to 2005, na first time President Ernest Bai Koroma, Seri Kamal and Edi Toure for the same APC party. After the 2007 election, na Honorable Legacy Sanko and the PMDC party. After the 2012 election, na Honorable Bernadette Lahai and the SLPP party. Now, the recent political tension within a parliament na between the Coalition for Change C4C party and the leader, Honorable Sir Emerson Lamina. People wey don dey follow this story go don know by now say the C4C party don pull word na do through the Secretary General of dem party to the clerk na parliament say dem no want Honorable Sir Emerson Lamina for be the party leader na parliament again. But after this concern, now na wetin the speaker, Honorable Dr. Cherno Abbas Bundu, go get for say, because unless the speaker na parliament gree for make sure say dem carry on with the process, just like wetin e be do for the SLPP leadership case. The speaker, Dr. Cherno Abbas Bundu, begin for talk about wetin the law say for sake of this issue.
I checked through the Constitution, the national Constitution. I also looked through the standing orders of the House, and I could find no provision that addresses this matter specifically. On what has been addressed to me, namely change of leadership. But nevertheless, I'm prepared to draw inspiration and guidance from existing provisions of our Constitution. And in accordance with Section 77, 1L, it reads, a member of Parliament shall vacate his seat in Parliament if by his conduct in Parliament by sitting and voting with members of a different party, the Speaker is satisfied after consultations with the leader of that member's party that the member is no longer a member of the political party under whose symbol was elected to Parliament.
But plenty people na the well been confused one thing where the speaker been tie this issue to the law. So the speaker begin for explain how he received the letter where the Coalition for Change Secretary General sent to him.
The correspondence I have received was signed by the Secretary General of the C4C, not by the leader. Even if it were signed by the leader, I will deal with it as a moot point for now, that I will discountenance the correspondence that I have received, and will therefore continue to recognize the Honorable Emerson Lamina as the leader of the C4C party in Parliament.
With this concern from the Speaker, this be make I been take this issue to the Coalition for Change Party for no wetin dem think but the decision wey the Speaker na Parliament don take concerning the request. Honourable Sir Charles na the National Deputy Publicity Secretary for the C4C Party, e be explain.
Mr. Speaker in position as Speaker of Parliament and for regulate the business of Parliament, but not to Mr. Speaker for regulate C4C business. So we just expect Mr. Speaker for honor that letter, like I mean honor the letter will be write as a party to him sometimes 2018. The very Secretary General will write this letter yesterday. Now the same Secretary General may write this letter back 2018 where it show Emerson and others as the as the leaders of the C4C Parliamentary caucus. You don't do one for SLPP, we don't see the change. Now which stand in order, now which provision in the Constitution, where we honor Dr. Presadin, the chairman and leader of SLPP in letter. Why Nana one court story stand in order and constitutional provision? We are not going by his decision. It still stands as far as we are concerned as a political party. We not want to make SLPP use this for come with any funny thing among we.
As all this they been at Parliament, member of Parliament them don't agree for make Timothy Musa Kaba be the Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, and Marie Baby Adding as Deputy Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, David Nyamakoro Bobo as Director Financial Intelligence Unit, Gladys Estin Spain, board member na Naxa, and two other one them. After member of Parliament them, be don't agree for them people here. The Speaker, Dr. Cherno Abbas Bundu, be encourage the Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources for go work and ensure say and improve the sector in work.
There is no doubt whatsoever that they are all eminently qualified for the positions. But I would also want to lend my own voice to the chorus of voices and concerns already expressed about the Ministry of Mines, and to ask the new minister that he's got a lot of challenges awaiting him in that ministry. And as was rightly advised, it would be prudent for him to start by studying his inheritance and doing so very quickly, because from what has been coming to this house, we are less than happy with developments in that ministry. But we are quite confident that with his capacity, his experience, and his intelligence, he will be able to live up to the expectation, not only of His Excellency, but this entire house.
Member of Parliament them, they hope say, them people here where they don't agree for, go work in the interest of the country. For Radio Democracy, Princess Piasley reports.
Salon Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile app, you can able for use Salon Link money transfer for send money to anybody like you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office like you not get the account number. Buy Ed-Salite, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You don't need for worry again, but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for we boss man them. With Beyond Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all your supplier them, sell forex to Salon Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store, or go to Salon Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering value.
Sierra Leone Commercial Bank.
Sweet for help people the way they do small things for survive, and then one the way they run place like cinema all for manage their life during COVID-19.
The Anti-Corruption Commission get what say people they go around a Kambulto area now Watalo they take money na people and earn, especially women them for register they forget about 1.5 to 2 million loans.
The Anti-Corruption Commission will make all man know say the money where World Bank and government of Salon they give for help people and then temia now 1,309,000 loans.
If anybody ask you for money for register you, or if you been don't give money to anybody back, call ACC na 515 or report na the police station wey dey near you.
Make sure say you no give penny to anybody for register you for get money wey World Bank and government of Salone give for help people dem during this COVID-19 sick. This message comot from the Anti-Corruption Commission with support from World Bank.
We continue the program. Good morning, Salon, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. 2 minutes past the hour, 8 o'clock, now the time for my studio clock, and we still get Salu Kamara, when the spokesperson for the National Elections Watch with we now the studio. They talk about a press release where the police be them we get different position them on thing them where neck get concerned, but earlier we don't talk about the midterm census where His Excellency be make a proclamation say for begin on the 4th of December. Now let's look at concern where una get, but the work between the now we look at concern the owner gets between the relationship we get for do with NEC and the National Civil Registration Authority. They're supposed for work together for ensure say then conduct or then register people them so that they go able get a voter register when NEC go all for conduct other elections them. According to una press release, una say una worry about the coordination with between the two institutions there so, and at some point it will get for affect the voter register. From the different engagement them una do, Mr. Kamara, what thing una find out we make you worried?
Yeah, we worried because we know say okay, the two institutions, that is NCRA, the National Civil Registration Authority, and the National Electoral Commission, they all the work for try for make them strengthen the collaboration them in get. Because normally they don't they collaborate over the years, and this collaboration still they continue. And we even understand and you say they just don't sign a new memorandum of understanding. We go able to make them work together. We're worried because like NCRA, they may not start civil registration. They may not, I mean, they may not in the plan for me they start the civil registration. But by the time we then they embark on serious countrywide civic education so that the people then go even understand the process better and they will get involved more deeply into it now in this coronavirus camp. And now we want for know waiting really now the process. And we engage them. Actually, they say then they in the preparation. Then they try for put mechanisms in place for let them make sure say they go able to carry out the activities within the COVID environment. And we also get similar discussions with the National Electoral Commission. And we're happy that both of the institutions they all they try for put mechanism, procedure, and policies in place for let them go work within the environment. But what concern we actually get is the funding. You see, National Electoral Commission, not for the engage just by activity, they get electoral cycle. Just like what you've been telling now, a lot of things can get for take place. And likewise, the National Electoral Commission then get the constitutional responsibility for conduct elections, all public elections in the country. So they not get like a breathing space. Say election don't wait until the other elections come. It's like as one election they done, a new cycle start. And when that new cycle starts, they get for do a whole lot of activities. They get for do reforms. And like we always they say for 2018, all the election observer missions they work on at Sierra Leone, they make so many recommendations for make sure say we correct the things that will not be all that go right for the 2018 election. So then get for work on that thing and they don't get for wait until when they say elections tomorrow before they do them things and then they also get for do civic education, because before the citizens then participate by electoral processes, a lot of civic education get for day, and they also get for take the lead for doing that. So all of this they're not able to do. But most importantly, NEC get some elections them where them for conduct.
So
we get like the rerun na constituency 110 within Western Area Rural District. Then another constituency in Abo District constituency 078 where the person die. Then day we get 2 wards election in Moyamba and Bo. Then we even get 55 primary chiefs within there. But the most importantly, then 2 constituency there. You get constituency 110 and constituency 078 in Bo. Then people and they then get a right from it and get a representative in the parliament. But because they're not able to conduct the elections there, a final say they not get representation in parliament, which also hinge on a fundamental human right.
So, Mr. Kamara, why new things say the current process of the civil registration not adequate and not timely?
Yeah, well, the thing is because it will not even be clear, as I say, we will not even know when this process they start, when they start, and when you look at it, it's when they don't do this civil register. Now in NEC for use as a data, where then they put where people and they go now, so that when National Electoral Authority don't do the civil register, now this same civil register, now in NEC they work with. NEC they get that civil register, then they use it now for open centers all over the country. We say they tell people, okay, you can. If you not be registered at that civil register, then they cannot register to them. So you see, say the two processes then actually tie. Even like the civil register in compulsory. Everybody compulsory for go register. But the voter register then they voluntary. But we see say since then they work hand in hand and then they collaborate hand in hand. So that processes then for us start long time ago because I know we expect to get local council election in 2022.
So the process don't delay, right?
It don't delay.
And next suppose for all the local councils election by 2022. If the process when they use for get a voter register for supply that voter register they to NEC couldn't go use for conduct the local councils election in 2022. New when I want party leading observation civil society them na the country they comment now or they get concerned about this particular register. How you think say NEC go able for all the 2022 local councils election to the due time where they're supposed for do am?
Yeah, let me just make one thing very clear. Not that NEC they go take the civil register and turn automatically to voter register. No. The civil register in an ongoing process where they go on. So when NEC want for do the voter register, then they use that data, open the centers them across the country. So what's in go now, if you be not do the civil registration, so you no need for even go again, pass on tell go now, you go do corrections, you go do clarification because you know say some people and they not spell their names and fine, some other things and they were missing, so they go now let make sure they do that correction. But would that not be done register at all with the civil register? So they go now then centers they are way neck they open, you go register now based on that now they make their own voter register. So we are saying them processes there and our processes there way and say you get a whole lot of other processes where they in between. So if you not start them quick so that at least people like will go because you get for end the draft people and go look do them corrections, then correct them back before them print them and everything. It take a long process. So if you not start them quick, there's certainly that will delay. And when it delay, we all know what's going to be the impact. Either the election is delayed or something else. So for law, make sure say we within the timetable we don't set for the elections here. We they say it's good that them processes here start immediately. Let the COVID actually not be something blocked. And we are happy that the two institutions really geared up for me and start them processes there. But for NEC, then get funding challenges. And because of the funding challenges, even the elections here we don't they on floor, they're not able to conduct them. And once they're not able to conduct their elections, then they find out say some people and they will not get representative in the parliament. Way to us now a concern because now the rights of people them for me then get people them for representing in the parliament.
All right, continue for the three in the program. Salut Kamara, the spokesperson for New. We'll come back to you. We can talk about elections funding we're supposed for go to NEC.
The program now Good Morning Saloon will come to you from 98.1 FM. We continue for look at more issues inside the program. As Muslim them they celebrate the al-Adha prayer today. The president Dr. Julius Marabiu and his family don't go give over 300 sheep to over 250 mosque them na the western area for make imam them shebam to people them after the prayer and sacrifice. We report our nigga Wuja get more gonna report.
Takbir Allahu Akbar.
God is great inside Islam. Now so over 300 imam them na Freetown. be they appreciate the president, Dr. Julius Madabio, and in family, after where the president be think say, then Imamia not get for go marker this term because of the coronavirus where they all over the country. This make it be give over 300 ship them to some mosque them na the western area so that they go kill them ship here as sign of worship and Shebam give poor people.
We know, say, around the world, Muslims, every Muslim way able to afford them, they go on for make that sacrifice lion. Also, while we not get forgiven, but for sure say we all not the same people in this country, not the same God we they pray to, we they give different names then because of the language they will they use. I decided I will make this small offer for making and know, say we care, especially in a year we will get this sickness, we're not able to do things they normally as how we do. So that make we call this small meeting, it not do for everybody, but God now the heart they look.
The president, where he don't hand over them ship here to the imam here, he be ask them for help pray for the country and the leader them.
We feel it necessary for call winner, for make winner know say we the member winner and make this small gesture so that God, who they pray to, will go intervene and help with this country here. We ourselves as leaders then, when the religious leaders then, God ask we now, say, he order we now, say, we for pray for leaders then. If we they take that time there for pray for we, I think say time like this not for can it pass. If we not make we know say, we serve the member we now. Because now huge task now.
The first lady, Madam Fatima Bio, na Muslim woman, and na so it be welcome the imamia na the host.
Jamaat, assalamu alaikum. We gladly for welcome on now we home. We all know say the Eid al-Adha is tomorrow. Today we just want for sure little generosity to the Muslim Oman through His Excellency the President, retired Brigadier Julius Madabio. We want for make una know say they think about we as Muslims every day and anything we concern with the Muslims them and insef in young concern that one day. So una welcome now we home. We tell una thank you for come and wish you a very successful Eid al-Adha. Assalamu alaikum.
There imamia where be they outside and the shape then ship here be tell thank you to the president and his family and say then ship here then go use them for the Muslim sacrifice where they can do every year Donke Sali as sign of worship to God and go shape them ship here to poor people and self go use this opportunity for pray for development na the country. For Radio Democracy, me na Waniga Oja.
Better don't come. A Union Trust Bank again. Union Salon Banco. Union Trust Bank get plenty product and service there for you. You must get what you want to go better. Like we savings account, ide. Current account, ide. Fixed deposit account, ide. Credit facility, ide. All for you. Me and you. Union Trust Bank, that's a loan for me and you. Kids future savings account, ide. School fee savings account, ide. Pay advance salary scheme there. We branch and they all up but not alone. Boko no kenema, we dey. Kabala mabogo kakambia, we dey. Jala free town loan sa, we dey. And my 91, me and you. Union Trust Bank, me and you. Union Trust Bank, Union Trust Bank, that's a loan for me and you. Union Salon Banco. Union Trust Bank.
Union Trust Bank, empowering Sierra Leonean businesses.
Patiently she's walking down the road. What are they running?
Honey, what you go do now for this pikin so? Usa go care and go. Because Mr. Musa don't police speaking for week pata.
Just no worry about that. Now that make the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs don set up the one-stop center. This center na side where you go, where dem don rape you, where you go get all the service them where you forget. And if you're not able to reach there, you can call na 116 line from any mobile network where you get.
Me na Honorable Manthi Tarawali, me na the Minister for Gender and Children's Affairs. The Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs na get a mandate for tap rape. Now for that reason they we don't put the 116 hotline. That line they open 24 hours and it's free from all mobile network. Anybody experience rape or any sexual violence, call 116 immediately.
So now wait, as they rape you or they rape you pikin, take a 110 at the one-stop center. We get office then at Putloko, Koinadugu, Kailaung, Pujeung, Moyamba, and Western area.
Now the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs bring this message to you.
The program you listen to now Good Morning Saloon, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We still get the spokesperson for the national elections, Watch New, Saliu Kamara, where they talk about concerns them or issues them we new get concerned over. Don't talk about the electoral commission, and also we, as my colleague rightly mentioned, we'll look inside the electoral funding. But for now, it been get some issues and we don't start for highlight inside the inside the census we been the round up on. Earlier you mentioned for sake of the census, say the census now one we not think say gets is a political process to the statistics alone say the census we then they do now only for know the number of people and for benchmark government's progress.
Yeah, in the first place, we know been talked about we statements saying a political process, but we believe say a development, a governance process as well, and we also believe say it gets a bearing to elections, because when the National Electoral Commission they do the electoral boundary delimitations, like for instance, like where then they map out the constituencies, where then they map out the wards, the things that then they look out for do down there at the population. Because they want to make sure, say, then constituencies, then wards, then they get almost the same number of people. So one constituency not go disadvantage the other. Because if you get plenty people and then they get small people, if they give our resources, you get plenty disadvantage. You get small advantage, they don't put you, we don't get advantage over the others. So now it make now the population of the people and the use. And what they can do, they can review the electoral boundary delimitations there at a minimum 5 years, but maximum every 7 years. Because they believe, say, within that period, sometimes the population could don't change. So, like for instance, if you can't do a midterm census, and we can realize a significant change in population don't happen from the last time we do the boundary delimitations, then certainly that could warrant say, oh, let's go back, let's do another electoral boundary review. So now me if we say get a bearing, because the population they determine how then they go. So now the population they decide they get them from the census. The census they provide that data there where the National Electoral Commission now they use for me then go ahead with the boundary delimitation.
So now they foresee anything like that?
No, well, we not foresee anything, but just like what you say, we left cards there open. But we believe, say, in the event that, there's some significant change in population there, then certainly the need for a review will actually take place. And when that need actually take place, that also will delay the process, because as it is, like the review, if NEC take the minimum of 5 years, the review of the electoral boundary delimitations for take place in 2022. That if they take the minimum of 5 years. But if they take the maximum of 5 years, 7 years, that would be like 2025. And then time then they, based on the timetable, the 2 elections, local council would don't pass, and the presidential and parliamentary elections could don't pass. So all of them here get some ramifications where actually get us worried. Say, let's discuss them here, let's look at them here and see. So we know they anticipate, say, oh, this will show a high increase in population. We not get for say this could show a low decrease in population.
So
Because that we are concerned,
yes.
whatever it is, whether it's significantly low or it's significantly high, it gets some ramification by the electoral cycle or electoral processes.
Okay. Earlier you talk about gaps. Them we the president in some pronouncements say the last census and self they ask for no routine and then gap. Then they una observe the 2015 census, right?
Yeah, well, the 2015 census will because what will they do now? New, if we not see, we not put people there for day on the ground, we not they comment on that because we not they believe on what people and they say. So the 2015 election, because of lack of census, sorry, because of lack of funding, we not able to deploy a full force for me to observe and monitor that process day. So we not make any clear statement on it because we not have to make a statement. We're not sure of what people are not even did it.
So this one we are ready for send people and for go observe?
Of course, this time around, as I say, we get funding. As long as the funding there, we dey put because no one deploys until a whole district you go put one person. Then they not fair enough. You not give not sufficient enough for let it make a very strong statement.
So now funding been tapped enough for observe.
Oh yes, now funding. Now funding. We not be get funding. In fact, what be happy, even the by-elections, they all will be the observe. So then our members the Hibi will go observe them because we not be get funding where go they stand by for do them. Them by-elections they for observe them. So now on we own we they try no more for make sure say we be a part of them processes then they.
Okay, in your name now Saliu Kamara in the spokesperson for the National Elections Watch New. They inside the program they talk about concerns them we new get for SECA process them way they take place now we now the census and same way so the thing the way get for be with the National Electoral Commission NEC. The program na Good Morning Saloon. And as we mentioned earlier today, Friday, July 31, na al-Adha holiday. The president for the Interreligious Council, Abubakar Conte, go talk about the importance of this day to Muslim them. Well, for that, I want to welcome Sheikh Abubakar Conte na the program. Good morning, Sheikh, and welcome to the program. Good morning, Saloon.
Good morning. Thank you for welcoming me and the people there. Good morning.
Okay, share a quick one. Take me through this holiday, the reason for the celebration.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar kabira. Walhamdulillah kathira. Wa subhanallah ta'ala bukrata wa asila. Well, thank you. We tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, thank you for another festival. The annual reunion of Muslims. Well, in Islam, now two recommended festivals with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam strongly recommend. Iwawi Binompas, the Idul Fitri, we are the first breaking festival. And then this one year, we will observe today globally, inshallah ta'ala, we na the Idul Adha, the sacrificial feast. And we read in Arabic word, they know happiness, we they up, would they be boku annually like this. Well, I think they both with two scriptures then they talk about Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, that way the Almighty Allah been the one for try for test out how steadfast in faith they. So he give them several trials in that respect. And then one thing ask him, he offer sacrifice, his only son, that ended Ismail, we Allah see na Suratun Baqarah, the second surah of the glorious Quran, we see وَإِذِ ابْتَلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ رَبُّهُ بِكَلِمَاتٍ فَتَمَّهُنَّ. See, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tried Prophet Ibrahim, and he tried for fulfill that trial day. Well, in short, na the sacrificial feast with the Muslims and they observe any sign of the world in remembrance of this great sacrifice we depart Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being tested, but we sort of rescue and back from that test day. We, while he take him picking for go na one side we name Mina na Mecca day, we say the one of the Hajj rites them for take place when he go do wetin Allah ask him for do, and then he go see where obedience dey naya. When he tell him pikin say na so Allah tell am for do, he tell am say, Papa, do wetin Allah ask you for let you do. And when he go for God implement Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in instruction, then Allah may free him. So this al-Adha, this sacrificial feast, now Eid, where they make we remember waiting we been go through and waiting Muslims and everybody full of trials and in life. And then besides all this way we try for say so, about this second festival when at the al-Adha, when at the sacrificial feast, we in fall the 10th day of the last month of the Muslim calendar when at Dhul Hijjah. And again, it mark the completion of the 5th pillars of Islam, where people then they go round the Kaaba now and then do the sacrifice, the animal sacrifice. Where we, unfortunately, let we just see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala no grief for we own flag fly say it can always fly. For in fact, now the first experience this in the history of let we say, well, Islam, where ye are come, where hajj not take place globally.
Okay, Sheikh.
Yeah.
Sheikh, we can look at how what that they mean for Muslims then around the world, especially in our salon. No able perform Hajj this year because of the COVID-19. We now the end of we can observe this holiday, more especially we then can they Mecca, then do then sacrifice them. The program Good Morning Salon they continue. We go for a short break.
GhanaSongs.org. Because in confusion.
But this confused me, boo. Look where Uncle Nat in Wall Solid. Look him block them with them beat for him, where they save solid, and at the same amount of cement and sand that they use for beat me on. But look what in the happen. Me wall down for them, all the block them all don't scatter. It like say some kind of magic they behind this. You want to know the magic behind this? Now the superior quality, extra strong, extra life and extra yield cement we are use, and that's not Dangote 3X Portland limestone cement. Dangote cement na the highest grade cement in the country. We na 42.5 R grade cement. We no one day come na this country, and na one of the highest grade pan cement where you go get na the wall. Where you want your concrete, wall and block solid, use Dangote 42.5 R cement. You no go regret them. You go get Dangote 42.5 R cement na online shop and building material store na the one whole country.
Rocket commercial bank don't make a they work with
me bank na me phone. Rokel commercial bank go make you the work out with your bank na you phone. Them been come with SIM couple and now they don't increase the facility. For sure say na them na the Al-Adha for banking business na now they don't come with SIM couple plus. They don't come with SIM couple plus. This service go allow you for send money to person where they salon anytime you want. It no matter the mobile company where you there. As you send me go get some quick one. What's na inside salon you there? You money go reach you. It no matter if you there na the east, west, north, south. So secure then you go na Google Play Store and search for the app. SIM couple plus I say download them. Follow the instructions and register your device. The process no long now if you reach 2 minutes. When you done the bank go send message na your phone. For confirm say now your phone number bang bang. Enjoy e-couple and more facilities. SIM couple plus e come for we all. You dey na city or village just na salon you dey. You e-couple go reach you dey. Enter top up self now they under the facility. With e-couple you can cash out your money from any local commercial bank agent or branch all around the country.
We continue with the program. Good morning, Salon, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. We where they bring the program come to you this Friday morning. My name is Khadija Bangura.
And me, Musa Kamara.
We they look at one power other headlines to read them. Outside the Secretary General for the Salon Football Association, SLFA, Chris Kamara say the World Football Governing Body, FIFA, and the Confederation of African Football, CAF, don't support Salon football with over $1 million as part of the COVID-19 relief fund to member association them. Chris Kamara talked this inside one meeting with journalists them, where he be they talk about the support where the World Football Governing Body don't get to Salon for reduce the challenge them, where he say football they get na the country because of the coronavirus. Musa Kamara been the part of this meeting and he go now report.
One part the measures them where government been put for fight against the corona sick. Now for tap all sporting activity them where make football been stopped for play. These don't bring plenty challenge to football as people waiting inside football on the raise concern for the challenge them within the gates. Outside Premier League clubs them not be able to pay them player them and some been they pay on half salary. This not been the same for all the sector them pan football business na Salon. But the World Football Governing Body FIFA not forget Salon in all this. We make them be they support the country football sector for CC they reduce the challenge where corona don't bring pan football. And this time the World Football Governing Body FIFA and CAF don't come together for support Salon football. Where according to the Secretary General for the Salon Football Association, Chris Kamara, the national football team Leon Stars, they get $20,000 out of this support, and save the female senior national team. They get $20,000, and all the national team them, both man and woman, they get $15,000.
Disbursement of COVID-19, FIFA and CAF Relief 2019 funds. National men senior team, $20,000. National men B team, $15,000. National men under 23, $10,000. National men under 20, $15,000. National men boys under 17, $15,000. National boys under 15, $5,000. National women senior team, $20,000. National women under 20, $15,000. National girls under 17, $15,000. National girls under 15, $15,000. Beach football teams, $5,000.
Chris Kamara continues say the Salon Premier League board self stand for get $200,000 out of this money we then don't give.
Premier League board $200,000. Coaches Association $25,000. Referees Association $25,000. Retired football heroes $30,000. Wider football community, match commissioners, $5,000. Causes for football administrators, $25,000. Match venues, security, I think stadium management you've been considered, $5,000. Media capacity for the press, $5,000. Staff costs of SLFA, $10,000. Sports medicine, $5,000.
District and regional football association them all day part of the FIFA COVID relief package where they don't send to Salon.
League clubs, Premier League clubs, 14 Premier League clubs, $210,000. That is, each club will receive $15,000. Female football clubs and officials, $75,000. Regional football associations, $150,000 to 5 regions, and each region will receive $30,000. District football associations, $192,000. Each district will receive $12,000.
And all this according to Chris Kamara. Now for make people where they into football, use them for sustain the club, regional body and association them, where all this money according to them cost over $1 million.
The funds made available within 3 stages of the relief plan should be used for relevant losses that have been incurred or are expected to be incurred, as well as to address needs that have arisen or are envisaged to arise as a result of COVID-19. This is a total of $1.3 million, i.e., $1 million coming from FIFA, $300,000 will be received from the Confederation of African Football. So it gives us a total of $1.3 million.
But what in this mean to football organization them where benefit from this COVID-19 relief fund where CAF and FIFA put together for Saloon?
I'm the general manager Diamond Stars, Kono. Well, to be honest with you, we appreciate FIFA and we appreciate the FA, where National Football Association, for where they able to advocate for we. We all know say the pandemic don't come, we're not to making it's so natural. So we appreciate the money when and you for we able to recover because we're into a lot of issues from since the league stopped. We pay salaries out of a salary we pay every month. We make sure we sustain that. So with this new money, it will boost we up. We will able to start training when they open the training tab.
Ali Van Nikroma, Chairman Premier League. We are very, very happy and we appreciate the executive committee of the SLFA for sanctioning that amount to be given to us as a league.
For somebody they listen now, how essential is it now?
Very, very much essential. For people who really follow the league last year, we didn't start early. We started in December for very good reasons because we didn't have money to even start. SLFA again, and then we come to aid. They started us with $50,000, which was about 500 million instead. That 500 million is not be even able to give seed money to the clubs for participate. This time, what they've done now, they have given clubs directly, and they give the board 2 billion loans, so to speak. So automatically, it puts us in a very good position to actually get a line of activities as to how we intend to run the 2020-21 league season, and which is really, really good for us.
According to Chris Kamara, then we'll start for shape this money now to January 2021. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Musa Kamara. The program na Good Morning Saloon will come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We still get Sheikh Abubakar Conte. They talk about the importance of al-Adha to Muslim them as today na the day celebration. Sheikh, you been talk about how Muslim them miss Hajj. What in this mean to Muslims them for miss Hajj? We na important pillar in the Islamic faith.
Well, thank you. It means a lot, but at the same time, not to the wish, now circumstance beyond their control, and where Islam self permit, we the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam being done, tell we say, when sickness of this nature, a boss na a country or a boss na an area, then people that within that area they not for comot they go na an area where the sickness no dey. And then one themselves where they decide where the sickness dey, I mean this how the sickness no dey, they not for comot they go decide where the sickness dey. For stop this. But, well, this virus, we don't devastate the entire world. We in Islam, or we religious people, then we know say, na Allah. And that's, na Allah, I allow for let it be, for reasons we in get, and by human power, nine again go intervene. So, the Muslims will be not get that intention for make them go this Hajj this year, where Allah say they not for go. Then for that sake and say, well, as you can say, Allah not call them yet. And for patient, then want them, we Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala go help, we go meet up among them, we be not intend for performance. We go meet up the time where the atmosphere go down clear, both they na the entire world, we then go lift that ban there, then can go by Allah in power. And then one themselves, we some 10 day, Allah no go make them day, tete the weather be conducive for perform the hajj. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them that blessing day.
Okay.
Then people them, any one pandemic can perform the hajj in progress. Allah will accept them. So yes, indeed, it means a lot, but enough for me too much for let you become discouraged. Na destiny wey you for believe and the qadr wal qadar.
So Sheikh, they like this, waiting Muslims and believers them for the do.
Well, as we been they say, now a demonstration of waiting of the obedience we Prophet Ibrahim been try for demonstration where Allah command them. Muslims all over, this now a day of Thanksgiving, but this day of Thanksgiving, so in a combination of spiritual devotion and humanitarian benevolence, you see, and a day of love, now a day of peace, now a day of mutual respect, now a day of unity, now a day of prayers for both departed loved ones and a day of remembrance. And for instance, being a day of obedience, where Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam obey the instruction where Allah gave him. And in Peking self no argue, in Mami self no argue, then all give up themselves to the Almighty Allah. I think, say, if we can try for relate small to the present situation, so, like we Muslims, in fact, we know say we religion are a religion of obedience and compliance. Like this situation where we find we self so, since we religion are religion of obedience, and we see Prophet Ibrahim, what we they celebrate, where Allah asked the people let we celebrate, and the Prophet wasalam, Boku authentic prophetic statements on the read on this festival. We for falamakata, we for obey any law we put we will not we for instance, like this face mask we all they put on so now. If you disobey and reasons they will make the face mask before put on, if you disobey, that you don't disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because as we don't say boku boku term, all them COVID-19 preventive measures or precautionary measures, they're all there now with scriptures. Them. So do ya, where you they go pray? Where you they go pray, if for obey, and even that distancing, that social distancing, that physical distancing, yes, we Islam say we for they together, come closer, but that same Islam they we care for we health, we care for we life. And instead again say, if something like this way they be so it be, it is relax from boku thing the way you for do because of the circumstance under which you did.
All right, Sheikh, continue for the with we na the program. Quickly, we come back to Saliu Kamara, the spokesperson for the National Elections Watch New, as we look at some concern them when you get about different thing them we don't happen this being term. Earlier, we try for talk about funding we on the National Elections Commission as part of the mandate for continue with the election work. And as we all know, NEC gets some pending by elections them who they're not able for conduct it.
Yeah, they get, very crucial elections. We all know like constituency 110, now the Western Area Rural District, down there a rerun because the posse we been there, he lost petition, so they do an election. but the Nasoda election, then they scatter. So since then, it vacant. Like we say, both districts also get one constituency 078. That's just said the member of parliament who then be elected die. So that place this vacant. Then you get two wards then at both district and Moyamba district, where the SSL not get councillors. Then you get the paramount chiefs and the SSL vacant. And all of them people are very important. If you look at the paramount chiefs, then they provide leadership in the communities. So if they're not there for a very long time, we can just imagine, even though when a paramount chief not there, sometimes you get like, speaker, they wouldn't say, step in. But once you wouldn't really elect a different somebody and say, okay, you can't sit down and wait. Then you get like the members of parliament. You know, say when you go parliament, that's how they go represent your people, that's how they bring the concerns of your people. And it's very difficult for, let's say, member of parliament for a different constituency, where they left for talk about the issues that would affect your own constituency, go talk about other people, other constituency, the things that would affect them. So now it make we feel say a breach of the right, because every citizens then get the right for me, then get post where they present in a parliament and make them vote. Since they don't vote for let somebody, any other thing we make sure say that presentation they know they now it make net get the responsibility for me then do any time where a seat is vacant and get within 90 days then for don't make preparations for let them put them. But I feel say it don't take where we feel say it don't take where this thing really happen. So now make we raise them up so that even as much as NEC want for conduct all of the elections there, if they don't get the resources available, there is no way we then go able to do that. And the longer we stay not conduct the elections, then now the more with the disadvantage then constituencies then they were affected, because they don't get person where they represent them, they don't get person where really they bring their own issues them for discussion at the well of parliament.
Apart from elections funding and the midterm census we una talk about, una also commend His Excellency and Member of Parliament them, and also the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists for the collaborative efforts they make for repeal Part 5 of the 1965 Public Order Act, where they don't be according to new na be challenge. We will talk about press freedom and freedom of speech in the country. Now, whether they repeal or most changes, new field say this particular decision will cause we'll talk about freedom of speech and professional journalism.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I feel say, everybody for be very much happy. You see, one thing one who show always the old. When we say the Public Order Act or that criminal aspect of the Public Order Act, some people they feel saying as just journalists in the old. That they not to journalists no more, because not to journalists they no more, they talk or they engage. Even we the citizens, organized citizens especially, what they call civil society, we don't see many a time where then they use the Public Order Act for even hold them. So we feel say if them repeal that part there, we're very much happy, because even as we seated there, win at the national elections, watch, they don't take win at court because under this Public Order Act. And the kind of role they do, we they go observe, we they go now the process, electoral processes to observe and make we report to find it, to share with the public. And also the sit on radio, sit on television, discuss about the findings, just like how what you they do so. But the Public Order Act, that criminal aspect will be known there. It limits it because it's either it censor yourself or you do something at the detriment of as you come out the you. But since it don't come on now, we just the appeal. Let them make sure say like the Independent Media Commission, we insist you don't get the Independent Media Commission Act 2020. So all of the things that we then put there, let them make sure say they don't ensure that, because then get the media code of practice where then they try for implement. So we they call on all the people that we concern, all the institutions that we then concern, let them continue, let them not see the repeal of the Part 5 of the Public Order Act as a license for let anybody go do. But we feel say now that this stuff happen, it don't give the journalists more space for me they do more investigations, for me they make sure say they do more analysis, because elements of fear where them get, it don't reduce more. Because that day they tell you say, even the truth, it not go even be a defense under that Part 5. But now I know they. So let them see the truth. Now they in a position for let them make sure say they able to pass on the truth, and they report the truth, they report things as out, and they able to do analysis, they able to go details into issues, so that when we, the citizens, are well informed, they will believe, say, the journalists, they get a big role for make sure, say, the citizenry well informed, because even we, in our elections, we did.
Although Mr. Kamara, although new commend His Excellency, members of Parliament, them and other relevant stakeholders, them like MRCG and SLAG for this repeal of the Part 5 of the 1965 Public Order Act, Una also draw journalists their attention. Let them not forget the new IMC Act of 2020. Why Una make emphasis on that particular side?
Yeah, well, it's like a balancing situation.
Okay.
Now, if I now say the Public Order Act, a lot of people are waiting to them in day against the Public Order Act. And interestingly, I even do see some journalists and practicing journalists then as well. Few, very few, but they be there. We then say no, may they not repeal them. Because some people about the citizens who side in the bank on, they say when you repeal the Public Order Act, it's like you just they give a license to journalists there for make them blackmail and do all kind of things. But when you look at, the media code of practice, we fall under the Independent Media Commission, where they regulate the media. If I now say in get enough provisions for let them make sure, say, then kind fear they did not happen, and the fear where people then get, it allay them fears completely. So now make we say, as much as that they don't come out, let we also pay attention to the things them where the Independent Media Commission don't put in place, especially the media code of practice. So if all the journalists then follow that, they comply with that, I feel say we not get forget the problem. And the one they will be afraid for, say, the Public Order Act, they repeal the criminal aspect, it could be a problem to society. We feel say as long as we comply with waiting the in IMC say, then their problem they not go for them. So now we call the attention of journalists to this Independent Media Commission Act 2020, so that let we all try for be very much compliant. So at the end of the day, what will be the fear, it not go happen, and at the same time, we will make sure say we take full advantage of the opportunities where this repeal bring out to we all.
All right, continue for the between the program. Quickly, would they take few of una text messages them where una don't send at the program this morning?
The very first one, they say, new, what is wrong if government cannot afford to count its citizens at any time in order to be better able to deliver goods and services?
This one is say, is your guest aware that there are constituencies that have less than 10,000 voters, while others have 30,000 voters in the current parliament? Is that concerning to new? Have they raised it before? What's their position on rightening this wrong?
This one says C4C demand for a change of leadership is just meant to victimize Honorable Emerson for voting his conscience rather than party lines. The last one for me for now say Honorable Emerson Lamina should do the needful and avoid the political embarrassment. That's the last one from me for now.
All right, quickly from their messages then they go back to Salu Kamara, then we could come now to check as we go wrap up the program with a form of prayer for we. Quickly, Mr. Kamara.
Okay, thank you very much. I also want to thank the texters. Now, the person will ask if really what we see wrong if the nation decide for counting citizens. We not see anything wrong in that, and we not say that process they wrong. All what they say is that, and say they want to do this thing. One of the principal reasons because the last census began some gaps. So, but then just left them open. Waiting at them gaps here, the citizens they don't know. And if this process now like a governance process, the people have for participate, the people have for no, we only they ask that let this thing be clear and let the gaps then be communicated very clearly to the citizens. So everybody go know say then gaps here be exist. And we even they go further. Waiting be make them gaps here exist. Waiting we for don't do pan that last census we not do we make them gaps here day. Or what you do pan that last census we not supposed to do we make them gaps here day. Or what you plan for do now pan this census we they cancel for make sure say at the end of the day them gaps here no go day. And we when they follow the process, it also they give an opportunity for law evaluate at the end of the day. You see that this exercise don't correct the wrongs of the past census. You see that the gaps that will be exist, this census or this exercise don't address them. So now it make only the ask once they say now gaps can be exist, Law will not go into the process where we as citizens not even know the caps that will exist. Because if we don't know at the end of the day, we're not going to know whether the caps then they address them. And we also want to know maybe if we know the caps, we go even know say, oh yes, then caps are then serious enough for law get a midterm census.
So
Or
after
then
this,
caps are they're not serious enough for law get a midterm census. So now that we really the concern but.
so after this press release, we shall now outline all on our concern them we get for those various issues from the midterm review to the elections funding for NEC and save the voter register through the NCRA. Una they expect for any response from the relevant authorities them?
Yeah, well, we dey engage. Like I say, we don't dey meet some of them already. We don't dey meet with NEC, we don't dey meet with ENCRA, and the institutions they are all because we don't dey partner, we don't dey collaborate with them. This is not the first time we dey collaborate with them. Just that each time, I mean, it's a cycle one for day, we get for renew all of them collaboration partnerships and see how we move forward.
Right.
And for some of them, already they on the verge for even finalize the development and signing of MOUs. So they engage them. And also they engage the other ones, they will not engage it. But we feel say they're very much part of what they discuss.
Right.
Because we can forget that bilateral discussions with them and see. Because the whole essence of what they do for make sure say we add value to the process, and one sure way we they add value to the process when the people they know and the people they participate. Because once the people they don't know, they not go participate. And they not participate, then they are less value to the process.
All
And
right,
we no
thank
want
you.
that.
Thank you very much, Salu Kamara, spokesperson for New. We come to the program, can talk about the press releases on our outline. All on our concern them we get for do with the census and the elections. Quickly, we come
Thank
to
you very
you,
much
Sheikh
for having me.
Abubakar. As we all know, the COVID restrictions them. These not to normal times, not to all man able for go now mosque or prayer places them for do the normal prayers where they can do today for sake of the Idul-Adha. So before you left in at the studio, you can just offer a short prayer for all Muslims them out there where they listen to the program.
Well, okay, not for all Muslims, for all in the country. We tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala thank you and we pray for the authorities them of the country. We pray for we all, and we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intervention will come as he always come for rescue we from situations then they bring we can be in and we country. We pray that we always go we dey na we mosque then they pray or na the various fields then for pray we go follow the COVID-19 preventive and precautionary measures because if you see within Prophet Ibrahim we comply to Allah instructions, so now so you believer again for comply to Allah instructions and you try for refrain or come up being waiting Allah and the Prophet wasalam, they ask you for let you come up being and you try for live in peace, try forget the somebody you do that you get that sharing spirit, especially you will they kill today, shame to you family, shame to you neighbor them, regardless of which side you feel say you neighbor they. So we they pray let Allah go continue for bless now we in our country. And let Allah put this wahala sickness now we aid and now the other countries that we eat we wish we all Idul Adha Mubarak.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen to all the prayers. Well, now they end the program. Many thanks to Sheikh Abubakar Conte. We joined we at the studio this morning. Can talk about the importance of this day. When at the Idul Adha celebration, we Muslim them all over the world they celebrate today. And also Salu Kamara, when at the spokesperson for the National Elections Watch New. Inside video between at the studio can talk about a press release inside and put some concern them where new get about different issues them. Now they end the program. Good morning, Salon for today on edition. Michael Sambola and Alex Lawrence Kuroma. And then produced the program DJ Lava and gave it technical support. Moses Kavora. Now I make on watch we live now Facebook page. And to all we Facebook viewer them, one for say thank you very much for our text messages them and one for wishing her once more a happy al-Adha celebration. Mina Khadija Bangura, they say goodbye.
And Musa Kamara, they say, not forget for listening to Inside Parliament with Princess Pias, where they come up tomorrow with fresh edition, and also sport update on Sunday, 12 to 1 o'clock. So till next week. Bye-bye.
Democracy 98.1 FM. Well, that's the program in Salon in